Parliament should completely be front and centre in this process, because what they ensure is that this shambolic deal that the Prime Minister brought back wasn't going to go through Parliament. And as you quite rightly say, the problem we're now faced with is what will get through Parliament. There doesn't seem to be any majority. And I think today, in this vote of no confidence that the Labour Party have brought forward, I think it will be knocked out of the table. All commentators, we're all thinking we expect this to not be successful. So at least you can say a general election is off the table. And it's going through that process of taking the different options off the table.
Yeah, look, and Gina, we can throw brickbats at both sides, and it's easy to do that at the moment.
Sure.
In fact, both sides of the parties, because, I mean, we know there's not just two parties. But it's not helpful. So, I mean, for Jeremy Corbyn, who is one of the most important parliamentarians there is, to come up with this no confidence vote, it just dismays people looking at Parliament rather than endorses the view that Parliament should be the ultimate arbiter of where we end up. Because let's face it, we had an election in 2015, we had an election in 2016 called a Brexit referendum, and we had an election in 2017. The last thing we need in 2019 is another election.
No, I agree, because what's happening and what's been happening throughout this process is there's been a lot of political game playing, and that's still carrying on, and that's not good for our country, and people can see it. They can see it, and they just want us to progress through the options and get to some sort of direction of travel.
But Gina, you want a second referendum, don't you?
No, I've never been completely in favour of it. What I've said is...
Because again, that's another form of election that we just don't need, isn't it?
Well, I've said it's the last option. I think we have to go through all the parliamentary solutions, and if there isn't one, where do we go? We have to find somewhere to go, and then you go back to the people for an instruction of where you go.
But the people won't know what the answer to the question is, because the question, by nature of where we've come from on this process, has to be so much more convoluted, doesn't it? We can't ask people, do you want to be in or out of the EU, because there are now competing visions, from Norway to Canada, from Mrs May's deal to something perhaps with a customs union tagged onto it.
But that's why we have to go through the parliamentary process, because if you knock off the table Canada Plus and there's no parliamentary majority for Norway, then you are only left with remaining or leaving with no deal. So I think you have to go through the parliamentary process first. Whatever's left, if there isn't a majority to get through Parliament, then you go to the people.
In fact, Gina, I want to just get your knowledge of with your other hat that you wear. I mentioned you were the founder of SCM Direct as well, of course, looking at the financial market,
Sure.
looking up to Moody's today is saying they think some of the risks have been heightened for issuers in the UK as well. The markets themselves are taking it very calmly as well. Do you think no deal is more likely or less likely as a result of the events we're seeing at the moment?
I think that we are going to an extension. I think that's the most, and that's why markets haven't really moved overnight, because any of the solutions being put forward that look likely would require an extension. And the markets are cautious and are saying, is that going to be a short extension? Is it going to be a revocation? Because even if it's no deal going on to WTO terms, we don't have the time to get all the legislation required through by the 29th of March. So markets are saying, we're saying, it'll be an extension.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.